Okay, hi everyone and welcome to today's webinar. So exciting topic today, BGL and entity makers and about our integration with company registrations. Okay, so just a bit of housekeeping to start off with. So today's session will be recorded. So we will email all attendees with a link to the recording. So if you do drop off or have any issues with or technical difficulties, please note that you will get a link to that. A recording will also be available on our YouTube channel. All attendees will be in listen-only mode, so you won't be able to ask questions using your microphone or telephone. However, please enter any questions you do have into the Q&A panel found either normally at the top or the bottom of your screen. So today, my name is Jeevan Toki. I'm the head of API here at BGL, so I head up a lot of our integrations with various third parties, and I'm joined by Georgina Abler, who is General Manager at Entity Makers. So welcome, Georgina.
Thank you, Jeevan, for having me.
Okay, so exciting sort of 25, 30 minutes we have ahead of us.
Yep.
Okay, so for today, our agenda for today is we're going to cover who is Entity Makers. So Georgina is going to take you a bit about Entity Makers, who they are, what they do, and how they can help you. I'll then do a demonstration of the integration between Entity Makers and BGL. And then we'll go into a Q&A. So any questions you do have, please feel free to ask and we'll cover those at the end. Okay, so I'll hand over to Georgina, who's going to, I guess, take you through a bit of who is Entity Makers.
Thank you, Jeevan. Okay, so thank you everyone for taking the time out of your busy day. I understand this time of the year is absolutely phenomenal right now and the workload, so I do appreciate your time. So Entity Makers, who are we and what do we do? So what we do is we make corporate formations extremely simple. Next. Okay, so with Entity Makers, just as a very, very, very simple term, we do it all in the one subscription fee. So we've got quite a lot of competitors in the market. You'll see how we go about. Entity Makers is all about keeping it simple. It is a user-friendly platform that is very, very simple. So what we do is we create company creations, self-managed super funds, discretionary trust, excluding foreign person and not excluding foreign person, fixed unit trust, non-fixed unit trust, and hybrid trust. So what happens is you will understand Entity Makers as we go further on through the platform. It is an all-inclusive subscription fee. It is not per document. It is not per creation. It is unlimited. And we'll see a bit more as we go through, Jeevan. So who are we? So Entity Makers and where the concept of Entity Makers was created was in 2016 when the board of directors are actually accountants and directors of accounting firms. And they really felt like there was something that was missing in their firms. They were consistently outsourcing, consistently paying different sorts of funds per document, per entity. And they all just said, look, let's get together. What is it that we can do to benefit our firms? With the great success that they had produced, that's how Entity Makers has now come across and it's gone out to the wider market. So the people that have created Entity Makers actually know your business. They know your clients, they know your needs, they know exactly it is that what you need and what your clients need, and that's how we're formed. So we do work with a leading Australian tax law firm, Munro Law in Sydney. They have been specialising in tax law for over 4 decades. We are also authorised software providers by ASIC. And also just a benefit is we are Australian owned and operated. Our entire team from start to end is based in Australia. And I feel it's very real. You can speak to us. We're contactable throughout all your hours. There is no time delays. So the core benefits of Entity Makers. Our forms online are extremely simple. We've made it very, very simple. So no matter what level of accountancy background or knowledge you have, you are very, very easily able to complete these forms. There's unlimited company creations with no markup fee. It is the ASIC fee, as we all are very well aware. There's nothing we can do to actually avoid that, but there is no markup fee. Trusts and self-managed super funds is unlimited. You can create 1 or you can create 20 in that month, and there will be no extra cost whatsoever. Automatic documents. So what will happen is, and Jeevan will go ahead and explain to you the integration between Entity Makers and also BGL, how your documents will be stored and information. But on the Entity Makers platform, your documents will be immediately accessible and will be there for 12 months. You will also receive an email immediately to your nominated email address with the suite of documents for any entity you create. One-stop shop, and you'll see that along as we go with BGL and also Entity Makers, that it really is the one-stop shop, and Jeevan will talk further about how we are entwined. Personalized support. So this is something I really pride ourselves on at Entity Makers. It's not one size fits all, and I don't expect your firm to be treated like your next door neighbour's firm or so forth. We really like to personalise our service and really give our all to each individual. With the personalised support, another thing we really pride ourselves on, it's not send me an email with any queries, whatever it may be, and I'll get back to you within 48 hours. You pick up that phone, you call me immediately, and we're there. And then also the integration with CAS 360, which Jeevan will go through with you. Try before you buy. What we've also offered to all BGL customers recently, so this is something that's recently evolved, is the 14-day trial. If you, and I can totally respect, sometimes it can get a bit nerve-wracking and a bit uneasy. What do these documents look like? Are my clients going to like it? All that sort of thing. So you can actually trial a 14-day trial with no obligation whatsoever. You will not be charged for $1 of anything in this 14-day except a company creation with the ASIC fee. But you are more than welcome to try that 14-day trial. And once you get on board, you don't need to be nervous, because like what I said, you can create as many self-managed super funds, as many discretionary trusts, even dummy ones, just to really trial the service. And you will not be charged for anything like that. So what our clients say, look, you will find throughout the feedback, and we do have testimonials more that we are happy to share. I think one of the core focuses, it really talks about the service side of things and how user-friendly our platform is. And I think that is cool. So, you know, the platform needs to be easy, it needs to be fast, it needs to be sufficient for everything that you do, but also that customer service piece. You know, I feel that you're sitting in front of a client and you may be doing a company create or a trust for them, and then there may be a little glitch in something that ASIC is requesting or in the system, and you don't want to look incompetent by sitting there in front of your client saying, oh, I'll get back to you shortly, let me just send an email. It's all about that service, and you pick up that phone, you call me. No matter what time of the night or day it is, even the weekends we're accessible. So I think that's a common trend, and I'd love you guys to jump on board and to really, you know, back me in saying that our service is, we're not robotic. We're not going to get back to you in 48 hours. We're here, we're real people, and we're happy to help. So how much does Entity Makers cost? So look, we are the most competitive pricing in the market. Based on having the unlimited access, unlimited service. It is not per document, it is not per anything. It is absolutely unlimited, and there is no markup on the ASIC fee. So if you go through, we've got the starter plan, which is the free 14 days, as we spoke about previously. We also have the premium unlimited at $149 per month plus GST. So that has always been our package. We've recently rejigged that and really looked at what our clients are asking for and what they really want. So we've always had an unlimited 12-month subscription for $149. And, you know, some people coming to me, Georgina, and they'll saying, you know what, Georgina, you know, my firm really doesn't create that many for the 12 months, where we have this time bracket where we may have a bit more. And it's a bit temperamental because, you know, you don't know how many companies you're going to create in the next 6 months or the next 2 months. So we've actually included a new package called Premium Saver. It is still unlimited. You still get the same features as the premium. So the two premiums are exactly the same package, but $149 is a month-to-month basis. If you choose to sign up this month and do all the company creates you need, and you don't need us for another 2 months, you can cancel and there will be no cancellation fee. If you choose to go to the premium saver, it would be $119 per month for a 12-month subscription. So you'll be saving 20% on every single month. We support. So each particular subscription will be receiving a dedicated account manager. So this particular account manager will either, depending on you know where you are in location, come out and visit, happy to do Zooms, talk about what's new on the platform, because we are consistently evolving and growing, which is fantastic, and we've got some great things to come. So you would always have that account manager to have that communication with, and also any issues, system glitches. We don't live in a perfect world. IT sometimes has their little hiccups, and that's what we're here for, to support that. Or any questions you may have from clients, you would always have that, and that entwines with the premium support. So for my WA clients, and also for clients that have different time frames than Sydney, we have part of our IT team located in WA, and we strategically did that to cover the time differences. So WA, you know, when daylight savings about, it's our 9 p.m. and it's your 6 p.m. and you're still working, and that's okay because we have a team that will support that. Also, with the premium support coming up to a very, very busy time for you guys, end of financial year and so forth, we understand that you will be working to 8, 9 o'clock at night. You will be working Saturdays and Sundays. I know you're probably grinding your teeth and saying, please no. But the reality is, if you do, we are here to support you throughout weekends and also after hours. Thanks, David. Look, my contact details are here. Please feel free to reach out if you have any further questions. I'm more than happy to answer any questions or just touch base. If you need any extra information, please reach out. I'll be more than happy to support that. And Jeevan will go through the integration and how it actually help and go through the CAS program with you guys. Thank you for your time, and I look forward in hearing from you guys.
Thanks, Regina. We will send the contact details out to everyone via email as well. So let's now have a look at the integration with CAS 360. So before I go into the demo, I just wanted to explain it there at a very high level. So option 1 there is you'll need to go into CAS 360 into the company registration screen. So a lot of users may not have used this screen before, so I'll take you through that slowly. Enter the details in and click submit. You'll confirm all details then on Entity Maker's websites, because Entity Makers will, although CAS 360 will run all the validations that are necessary, Entity Makers will also run their own validations, and you can still modify something last minute if needed as well. Obviously, once a company is registered on Entity Makers and the documents have been produced, the company is registered with ASIC, the ACN and all the documents will be inserted into CAS 360, as well as the documents being emailed to yourself as well. So let's now have a look at how that actually works. Okay, so most users, as you can see now here in CAS 360, are used to probably operating off your first screen, which is the company selection screen. So obviously used to your alerts and whatnot in terms of what's happening there across your client base. So the very next tab along there is company registration. So I'll click on that there. So normally what's required is if you would like to use CAS 360 to register direct with ASIC, you're required to register, I guess, for a digital certificate there through ASIC, and you need to set up a direct debit account. So that obviously process can be overwhelming, cumbersome, and not practical for a lot of accounting firms. So this solution and integration is perfect, as you can get up and running. And as Georgina mentioned, you can sign up for the trial directly here through CAS 360 as well. So I've got my account here directly linked, but when you first come into the screen, once you enter the details, you'll see here, rather than proceed with Entity Makers, you'll see a button there that will say press or link to third party, Once you click on that, you'll select entity makers, and it will go take you through the process to sign up there directly to the trial. So you don't need to fumble around and find the website or do two different processes. You can do it directly here from this screen. So it makes it nice and easy in terms of signing up there directly for the trial. So let's go through and create a new company just for the process here of the integrations, and we'll take you there through the screen. So our wizard here will take you directly through the questionnaire and ask all the same questions which are asked on ASIC's Form 201. So obviously some of the questions might not be relevant, but each of these will be displayed there on the Form 201. And obviously you can ignore all the questions which are not required. Any issues with the form or any validations will be displayed on screen. So we make sure that there's no issues where possible in terms of lodging directly through to ASIC there directly. So I'm going to type on here, which is going to be EM test. So very careful. So what we do in the process is also check for that particular name. Do we want to? Is it actually reserved there with ASIC as well? So that'll be done there across the background. Obviously inputting the addresses here for the fund. So I'm not going to obviously waste your time keying in the addresses. I'll just select an existing one I've got here, which is BGL's addresses. And you can see here it's providing the validation that we need to select there a mandatory address there for the business address. Okay, so you can enter all the offices there for the fund as you would expect. So again, I'm just very quickly going to put myself in. Okay, so go and select, as you can see. So obviously, if there's any issues with the director in terms of mandatory details missing, so for example, might be birth details, date of birth, something like that, it'll prompt you there on screen to enter those details in as you select that contact, or you can enter a new contact in the screen as you would for any changes that you might be used to there within CAS. Okay, going through and selecting, sorry, that's the wrong one. So going through and saving that, go through and select the next one, which is shareholders. So again, most of your sort of typical, let's say, family style companies would just be one or two shareholders, but you've got the ability here for everything that is reportable there to ASIC to actually obviously put in however many, I suppose, shareholders there are, whether they're beneficially held, etc. So you do have that ability going through. Casing. So obviously entering whether they're beneficial own or not, selecting the share class type. So if obviously that's not the typical ordinary shares, you can obviously go through and add a new one. Okay, do so. Let's go through and potentially do that now. So if I want to go in and select a new one, I could select that, or I could just select an existing one, which is obviously in our default list. So in this case, I'm going to select initial. It's going to be one, amount paid, $1. So let's go through and do that. Okay, obviously number of shares registered. You can obviously edit things like certificate number, that and you displayed, and obviously go through and enter that accordingly. Oops, lost that. Okay, so you do have obviously the option there of manual review with ASIC, which obviously 99% of cases you'd probably not be selecting. Now, it'll give you obviously a summary before you're submitting through. So I'm just going to save and close in this case. Okay, so you'll see there on screen there in your registration screen. So it might be, obviously you might have various use cases where you might be registering the company straight away, or you might be obviously confirming details with the client or waiting obviously the appropriate things in place. As I mentioned, the first time you come to the screen, if you're not already registered with Entity Makers, you will need to do that. You can see this account here is already registered. And as I said, this button here will say connect to third party. Click on that. That'll take you through the registration process and also sign up with yourselves for a demo account there with Entity Makers as well. So in this case, I'm just going to click on proceed with Entity Makers. So this will submit all the details through directly using your account. Okay, so Entity Makers will then obviously apply the appropriate validations and go through, and then it's ready to submit there to ASIC. Might just refresh that. I'll just skip through. So this is what I've done previously. So you'll be taken through to the order form there with Entity Makers. Okay, so you just need to go through, can confirm the details again, and click confirm. Once you click confirm, I'm not going to do it for this particular case because I don't want to lodge the company there through ASIC. But once you've obviously lodged through ASIC, almost instantaneously, you'll get back the certificate in terms of the incorporation there directly with ASIC, and you'll get all the necessary documents back into CAS 360 as well as mentioned earlier, the email that comes through, which has the zip file of all the documents as well. So they'll go through it accordingly. So I think as Georgina touched on earlier points, so the integration at the moment is built around company registrations. However, we are looking to obviously incorporate that and apply the same logic there with trusts and SMSFs in the future. However, for SMSFs and trusts, you can obviously register those directly on the Entity Makers website as well. Just going to scoot back to my points. So in terms of integration, I've kept it quite brief as we go through, but I suppose if you do have any questions right now, we'd love to hear those. If you'd like, obviously, as I mentioned previously, we will send out all attendees a copy of Entity Makers and Georgina's details and a copy of recording to today. But any questions you do have, we'll go through and answer, and myself and Georgina will stay on the line here now to answer any of those that you do have.